That nigga Dane got beats.
365, I'm a dad, my figure. Ain't tryna die, got so much to give. You know I got life, I ain't talking about prison. Plain gunshot, that's a suicide mission. 365, I'm a dad, my figure. Ain't tryna die, got so much to give. You know I got life, I ain't talking about prison. Plain gunshot, that's a suicide mission. 365, I'm a dad, my figure. 365, I'm a dad, my figure. 365, I'm a dad, my figure. 365, I'm a dad, my figure.
Hi, welcome. I am Gary Lewis, founder of I Am Dad 365, and what a beautiful day we have. We have two beautiful pillars of the community. Young pillars, young, motivated, you name it, beautiful dads. And that's all I invite is beautiful, beautiful fathers. So first and foremost, I would like the brothers to introduce themselves. You might know some faces might look familiar, but I want this brother to introduce himself and what he got going on and who and what he do.
Yo, my name is Taylor Bennett. I'm a label owner, manager, and artist myself. Chicago, Southside, West Chatham neighborhood to be exact. Family member of the Bennett's, independent artist. So, we do a lot of the ins and outs of the music as well. But I'm a big fan of your platform and everything that, you guys are doing. I see you guys not just out in the streets talking about it, but actually doing things for the community. And, that's something I always want to be a part of and support. So, I just appreciate you guys having me.
And more importantly, I invited this brother because I watch his social media. I watch him interacting with what? Who are you? Most importantly.
A father.
Yes.
That's the most important thing in my life. Yes. I'm glad that you said that because that is the most important thing to me. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So I have another guest, by the way, a young individual. I've mentored him and he's a beautiful brother. I watch him grow over the years of me mentoring for 4 years over at St. Sabina Church. Brother, introduce yourself.
Appreciate that, man. Honest for being here. How y'all doing? My name is Billy D. Williams. You know what I'm saying? I used to be one of Gary mentees. I'm also a father. I got 2 jobs I work, and I also, got a YouTube channel where I deal with self-help and development and all that on all levels, not just physical, but mental and spiritual. And I'm here right now supporting the I Am Dad 365 movie, you know what I'm saying? So get in tune with my man.
Okay, so we're going to jump right into the questions. Is there a difference? I would like for you to go first. Is there a difference between being a dad and a father? Or a father and a dad?
Yeah, I think so for sure. First of all,
what is a father to you?
First off, anybody, if you ever seen like Boys in the Hood, I think it might be like a dad and a father, or it might be a man and a father. But they have that one point where the kid is talking about he could be a dad or he could be whatever. And he was like, anybody could be a dad. It takes like a real man to be a father. I feel like in my life, my dad, Ken Bennett, that, has done so much in the city of Chicago, but just around the world, not just, for my family and himself, but for the community and for Black people, as a whole. He's always really inspired me to be a great role model and example for my children because the power that has is so crazy, So I think, there's a huge difference in being a dad and a father because a father, you're there every step of the way. It's like, you're not that burden, but you are that protector. So it's like you are over, kind of the situation at all times. And I think that's like the major difference. I think a dad, is, definitely, and it's actually funny is that I think you could be both. Like, I think it's you could be a dad and you could be a father because I'll say like my dad is also my dad in a way that it's like he became my friend over time. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like this is where you've always stood with me. It was like something where as I matured, he kind of matured with me. And then we ended up being at a level where we can communicate as friends. And that's, something I think is very important. So
beautiful, beautiful, beautifully spoken. But I would like to elaborate on the two, the dad and the father. A father figure to me is one that goes beyond you just being my son.
Yeah, I feel you.
Anybody can be a father Anybody can be a father. My concept, it takes a village to raise a child.
Yeah.
You know, all men are dads, irregardless of biological father. You know, you could be,
Right.
you know, you could be a role model. You may not even have kids, right? You can be somebody that a lot of young ones look up to. And that's a father figure.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm gonna go into my second question, brother. And I am gonna pose this question to you. Where did you get your first interaction with your dad? Or dad figure? You know, so what and how does that affect you today?
Like, as far as my memory, like what I could remember.
Yes.
So
Your first interaction
my
with your
first
dad
interaction,
that you could recall. How was that
really
like?
I mean, it was like my first interaction that I could really recall was like just walking around, like being with my dad, like just little everyday stuff, like glimpses of that. So yeah, like always been around. So, you know, that just motivated me to really like be around for the little stuff with my son. You feel me? Cause it's like, it don't gotta always be like big, elaborate like things that you gotta do, right, to be a good dad. You feel
Yes,
what I'm
sir.
saying? You could, it's simple stuff that other people overlook that you could really do.
For sure.
Definitely. So what would y'all say is scariest about being a dad? What is sacred? What is sacred about being a dad?
I would say almost everything, because I think like the biggest thing that I got 2 children as well. I got 2 sons, 2 boys, and one is 2, the other one is 6 months. Actually, I take that back. The other one is 9 months.
Yeah.
And
Congratulations, first
Thank
and
you, man.
foremost, congratulations.
Appreciate that, yo.
I got a newborn as well.
Oh, my dude, congratulations.
Yes.
That's what's up, yo. Congrats to you too, my guy. But you know, I got a 2-year-old, and it's so funny because I didn't realize until he was like 1.5, and he really started expressing himself, and he really started talking, how much he kind of, I don't want to say imitated me or even really looked up to me, but I think how much of impression I had on him based on the fact that I'm someone that looks exactly like him.
Twin, your little twin.
It's like, yeah, like I'm his twin, but then it's also like he, in a lot of ways, I think sees himself as me, you know, which is the same way that I see or saw my dad for so long, you know. So I think like the most sacred thing is always being the best version of yourself. Because even when your son isn't around, there's people that see you. It's just all different kinds of things that, and I'm sure everybody in this conversation has a point, whether it was a good or a bad thing, where they got somebody they know, whether it was their dad or their mom or somebody in the family, or somebody said something around them and you didn't know and they wasn't there, but it was just something about them and it either made you feel good or it made you feel bad. I had a lot of good things that people would tell me about my dad, or like you, when you see me, that people say about my dad that don't even know me.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You know that for
Yes.
sure. I know you for so long. You know, people always talk, hey, I know your dad. You know what I'm saying? More people stop me and say they know my dad still than they say they know my brother or say they know me. You know what I'm saying?
And I want to elaborate on that because my concept is that it take a village to raise a child.
Yeah.
So that village, your dad is that village. Prior to you even becoming who you are,
For sure.
your dad was a dad to many other young people
For sure.
of the community.
Definitely.
So that's
been so helpful for me. That's
Yes.
my whole structure. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? There's just so many other people that do give out that hand and do help me out, whether they know me or not, just based off the fact they like, you don't even know I know your pops.
Yes,
you know what I'm
sir.
saying?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. And your pops is your dad, your father is a positive figure.
For sure.
See, every day I say to young ones, young individuals, it's about making the choices, the decisions on a daily basis. You know, and if you're not in your children's life, that is you don't have a clue what you're missing out on. So I encourage, and that's the gist of this
Missing out.
platform, is to bring brothers, pay homage to beautiful dads as yourself. Both of you guys are beautiful fathers. We are paying homage and we changing the narrative. I want to rewrite the narrative. I Am Dad 365 represents that brand.
You are rewriting this shit, just so you know. You definitely rewriting
Thank you.
it.
Thank
know
you
what I'm
so
saying?
much. So like, can you offer any words to those being a dad right now, what advice would you give a person that's struggling with
I would say,
fathership?
like, I would say the biggest thing that I went through, and I think a lot of my friends or people that I know went through in terms of fatherhood, was it's very hard to, we all kids at a point, and we're all teenagers and adults, and then we have kids, and it's like, you know what a baby is, but you don't have a baby. Like, you just thinking about your kid as a baby. At least for me, that's how it was. But I didn't realize for a couple months, like, I could learn so much. As soon as I found out I was having a kid, I started changing my health and everything, the way I ate, all my fitness, this.
Yes,
and
sir.
like, all of those things, one day I was just sitting up and really thinking about it, and I was like, damn, I did all this shit for you. Like, I did all this stuff, not just for him, but he did that for me. You know what I'm saying? Really.
See, that's important. I like that you spoke that, right? Because to me, when you have something that's pure as a child, you see that child as innocent as that child is, and it inspires you to become a better version of you.
For
you
real.
just spoke it.
That's crazy.
Man, it's
you
amazing.
just spoke it.
It's a better
crazy.
version of you.
Yeah,
so,
right.
I mean, that's the uniqueness of fatherhood. Like, I mean, you want to offer your son as best or better than your dad offered you.
Exactly. Right.
And that's the importance, so Billy, man, I got to get on you, brother. Come on, man, talk to me.
Right.
So like how does one become a better father, you believe? How do you become a better father? What is your advice?
Well, personally, I believe that like the way you become a better father, it's like with anything you do, like practice make perfect. You feel me?
Sir.
So you gotta really like practice and get into the groove of like being a dad and being there for your children. You know what I'm saying? And like making sure you like they always on your man. You gotta be mindful of like what's good for you and your children, right? Or what may not be so good for them. So you gotta always like be aware of these things. You feel me? And just have your kids in mind.
So does money play a factor? Like some men, they lack being fathers because they believe that they don't have the money to provide financially.
Right.
But I think you are saying that you can put in the time.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
Time is of value.
Yeah, time is definitely a value. And it's not always about money. Like, okay, you do need money to take care of certain things, but money is not like the end all be all when it comes to being a father. It's really you putting your heart and soul into having that experience with your children, because like bro said, like you don't only teach them, but they teach you things too. You learn from them just as much as they learn from you.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, it's just beautifully spoken. So where does dad fit in to the community structure? Where does dad fit into the community? Where does dad fit into the family structure? Where does dad fit into your personal life? Who would like to answer that?
I mean, I think that like, I think that's a really, I love that question, because it's like, I think as you said, and as we've been all saying, a dad's job is really, one, not just to protect their child, but to also in some way try to inspire them, but truly be inspired by them to do more. And I think that doing more isn't just doing more for your child, but also doing more, like we said, in the community.
For yourself.
And for yourself as well. And for the community as well, so that your child sees that and grows up. So I think that kind of in that construct or ideology, a father should be in the community as one of those father figures that is helping. You get what I'm saying? Right. And I think that my dad was definitely, like we said, somebody that was in the community helping. And because of that, I have abilities to do things that I wouldn't have been able to, but also because of that, I do the same. You get what I'm saying?
So I challenge that because I came up in a not so well community. I came up in the Robert Taylor Housing Projects. I don't know if you're aware of that. And in my community, I had to suffer with gunshots, violence, going to school, witnessing things that a kid typically shouldn't witness.
Definitely shouldn't see. But most kids, damn near 73% of America don't see. So I get what you're saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I kind of I have some issues with the village, right?
Right.
I kind of sense the community failed me And that brought about I Am Dad 365 because I would like to use the platform to bring us together as men, first and foremost. Bring us together as men and bring us together in the village so we don't fail individuals, young individuals like the community failed me because I came up where we didn't have positive role models.
Right.
I didn't have firefighters. I didn't have policemen as neighbors. I didn't have individuals that I could look up to. The ones that I looked up to was drug dealers or gang bangers.
Right.
And I'm not saying I'm not speaking down on nobody. Right. I am just painting a picture that we need to focus on the village as a whole. And that's the purpose of me bringing you two brothers on board, because I look at you guys as positive role models and positive figures in the community. So
can I add something to that?
Yeah, definitely.
So like what you were saying about like how you kind of feel like the community feels you because it wasn't like a lot of good role models. So to like advice I would give to like any parents out there, fathers, like especially if you in that type of situation, and like it's the same for me. Like the community I live in, it ain't really too much of nothing. You feel me? But it's like that's where exposure come into and help you bounce it out, because you got to take them. It's times where you got to take them outside of the community to show them stuff too. Like for example, my parents, when I was in high school, they sent me overseas twice. Yeah. So my mother, she always like pushed and like talked to my dad and was like, you know, we got to get this and we got to make sure like we showing him like different type of stuff so we could take his mind and like broaden the horizon. You feel me? And my dad, he was with it too. So
you saying that exposure. So when you went overseas, where like what age were you when you first went abroad?
So when I first went abroad, I was 15. I went to London and Paris.
Wow, big ups to his parents.
Man, that's fine.
Big ups. Definitely.
That's fine.
The second time.
So what was that experience like?
Yeah. So the second time I was 17, I went to Ghana, right? But when you go like to these different places, you can like I ain't gonna lie. When I went, I was expecting like to see like some like way super different. Like it was different in a way, but you see like these people, they live like similar to us. You know, they the same type of almost similar lifestyle, but it's like the thing that was there that I noticed that was there that's not here is they got like that compassion and that decency. Like people really like they like if I'm walking down the street in Chicago, I can't just tell somebody, oh, like good morning or how you feeling, like people in like, you know, in the hood like that, because everybody be like looking over their shoulder, always in survival mode, so they don't really be like, everybody don't always display that human decency, right? You feel me? Like, or just that compassion for other people. They think they got to be on the offensive first or be defensive all the time.
Yeah, man, that's big. That's big. But definitely, right? So, like, I would like to say to all my watchers, please take responsibility, our men, of being a positive role model. Every day, you can make the decision to be a positive figure or a negative figure. Thank you, brothers, for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
I am humble. I am so humble. And for all of the individuals, I pray that you guys you have a takeaway. I mean, it was jewels dropped. Visit the website, iamdad365.com. For men that need structure or guidance, you can get a lot of information on the site, as well as these beautiful shirts. Thank you, and may God bless.
That nigga Dane got beats.
365, I'm a dad, my figure. Ain't tryna die, I got so much to give. You know, I got life, I ain't talking about prison. No gunshot, that's a suicide mission. 365, I'm a dad, my figure. Ain't tryna die, I got so much to give. You know, I got life, I ain't talking about prison. No gunshot, that's a suicide mission. 365, I'm a dad, my figure. 365, I'm a dad, my figure.